All right, New York mayor's race latest. Mamdani, Cuomo pick up endorsements as new polls released.
Stretch of the heated New York City mayoral race, and the latest poll shows it might not be much of a contest.
Well, could it be?
Yep, new polls came out today, ladies and gentlemen. All of the freakouts were maybe short-lived. Latest poll from Pix 11 News, Emerson poll, The Hill shows Zohran Mamdani with a 25-point lead over Andrew Cuomo in the race for New York mayor. Zohran Mamdani at 50%, Andrew Cuomo at 25%, Curtis Sliwa at 21%. The polls also show that over the age of 50 are breaking. Voters over the age of 50 are breaking for Zohran Mamdani over Andrew Cuomo. This is a key demographic that Cuomo has zeroed in on. A lot of you successfully were able to get your parents and your grandparents, maybe, to vote for Zohran Mamdani. And that makes me very happy. It seems. But once again, this is not time. This is not time to feel comfortable. You have to act as though he is 5 points behind, not 25 points ahead or 20 points ahead. Okay? Remember that. Game's not over yet. The poll had Cuomo ahead, had me in a mood, and I live in CA. No, Cuomo wasn't ahead at any poll. But Cuomo had seemingly cut the lead from 20 to 10. Chris Paul style. Chris Paul makes key three to cut the lead down to 42. You know, that was what was going on. And the betting markets were going crazy over it. Okay. Huge three by Chris Paul. They're eliminating the secular Jews and Christians from the data. This is how they got Mamdani's numbers down with the Jewish voters. You ask their religious faith, not how they identify culturally. If it's with the latter, he wins. If it's the former, he loses badly because they're all more right-wing. Wait, what? Christians and Jews make up 67% of New York's population. Muslims make up 4%. Total other is 32. We're supposed to believe a poll saying Mamdani's losing with that 67% and still has a strong lead over Cuomo. Yeah, the Quinnipiac poll was so fried. This Quinnipiac poll was like the inverse of what we've seen from past campaign performance in the primary. It made no damn sense. It made no damn sense. And I told you this when we saw this. I was like, this doesn't make any sense at all. This is quite literally the opposite of what the primary voter patterns look like. And not only did the primary voter patterns look bad or look exactly the inverse of this, that it just doesn't make sense when looking at direct polls, like affinity polls that pertain to what New York voters of different faiths care about. Okay? It was, and I guess they tried to massage the numbers here. They're eliminating secular Jews and Christians in the data. This is how they got Mamdani's numbers down with Jewish voters. Yeah, I forget it was something like that. I wanted to point out how absurd the poll was. They're using the polls that eliminate liberals and seculars, basically, most likely because the two polls showing Mamdani leading with Jewish voters were embarrassing, so it became exclusively religious, not cultural. Anyway, let's get back to this.
Robert Moses, what's going on?
Kurt and Rosanna, very encouraging news for Zohran Mamdani this morning. There are two new polls just out this morning that show he may be running away with this race. Let's start with an Emerson College Pix 11, The Hill poll of likely voters. It shows Mamdani up 50% to 25% over former Governor Andrew Cuomo, a 25 percentage point spread. Republican Curtis Sliwa gets 21%, 4% remain undecided. A second poll also out today, a Marist poll, shows Mamdani getting 48%, Cuomo 32%, Sliwa 16%, just 3% remain undecided. These polls today follow a Quinnipiac survey yesterday that shows Mamdani up by 10 percentage points. So we have between a 10 and 25 percentage point spread here between these three polls. The United Bodegas of America yesterday endorsed Mamdani despite expressing concerns over the summer that his plan to open city-run grocery stores could put bodegas out of business. Mamdani says not to worry, there is room for both sorts of establishments in the city.
Some of the highest points of revenue in a bodega have to do with cigarette sales, lottery sales. These are not the things that a city is interested in making it easier for New Yorkers to purchase. What we are speaking about are groceries at a very small scale that will be done alongside supporting these bodegas.
And because of the United Bodegas of America's endorsement, the co-founder, Fernando Mateo, announced his resignation from the organization. Mateo, a Republican, said the president of the association violated the group's nonprofit status by endorsing a political candidate. Meantime, Cuomo was on Staten Island, a Republican stronghold, to criticize Mamdani for posting this picture of him making an obscene gesture.
Bro, this guy! Yo! This guy! He loves his cutouts, dude. Damn, banger after banger. Oh my Lord. Banger after banger from the Cuomo team. What will they do next? Oh, we know the last time he busted out the IRL printouts, it was your boy. It feels like he just gave up on that. Dude, go back to it. You were killing it, Cuomo. Talk about how Zohran Mamdani hung out one time with HasanAbi, who also is known as HasanAbi. What happened? What happened, bro? Zorro Babdabi. We need to stop Zorro Babdabu. We must stop him. God damn. What are we looking at? This is a old tweet of Zohran Kwame Mamdani flipping the bird during COVID at the I was gonna say Christopher Columbus statue, Columbo. And he's saying like, this is Italiaphobia. This is Italiaphobia. Zorad Babadoobie. Why don't you go back to your TikTok musics instead of doing politics? You're done. You're done. You're done with your phobia. Yeah, Italiaphobia is no laughing matter.
In front of a statue of Christopher Columbus back in 2020. Cuomo says it's offensive to Italian Americans. The former governor.
How is this real? How is this real? I can't believe that this is the campaign's last ditch effort, bro. That is crazy. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so stupid. In this house, Christopher Columbus is a hero. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said. Oh my Lord, bro. What the
Picked up some endorsements of his own, namely, former Mayor Mike Bloomberg is backing Cuomo, just as he did in the primary. Democratic Congressman Tom Suozzi of Long Island also endorsed the former governor. So, too, did Hudson Valley Congressman Mike Lawler, who's a Republican, who called Cuomo, quote, the lesser of two evils. And speaking of Republicans.
Can you think of, like, and I mean this sincerely, can you think of a single New Yorker that would be like even in Staten Island, where they'd be like, which one is a better campaign message? Fast and free buses, universal child care, rent freeze for rent controlled apartments, or like, the versus we must protect Christopher Columbus and his integrity. Like, this is so unimaginably stupid. Who the would vote for that?
Cuomo again called on the Republican nominee, Sliwa, to drop out.
I don't believe he's a viable candidate, but I believe he serves as a spoiler and can make a difference that way. I think a vote for Curtis Sliwa is a vote for Zohran Mamdani.
First, I'm not dropping out. Number two, if a Mack truck hit me and I was turned into a speed bump out here, I'm still on the ballot.
Voting, more than 372,000 New Yorkers have cast their ballots. At this time 4 years ago, by comparison, more than 72,000 had. So turnout is still running at more than 5 times the rate we saw back in 2021. I guess the question, though, is the influx product of Mamdani enthusiasm, or are these Mamdani protest votes? We'll find out next week. Kurt, back to you.
In just 5 days.
The clips from the Zohran Town Hall are pretty funny. This is the one, right?
Andrew Cuomo's victory in the primary.
Oh, no, not this one. There's one that had all of it. I liked it. Let me see if I can find it. That was a really funny TikTok that I also enjoyed. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it?
In your time as mayor, Are you planning on providing bisexual girlfriends to everyone in New York City?
Yeah, affordability is cool and whatever, but I feel like he's ignoring real problems facing New Yorkers.
Well, these city-run grocery stores have the kind of kombucha that I like.
I voted for Cuomo in the primary, but then my parents cut me off. So now I think poor people deserve rights.
I got a poem. Zohran, go on, dream on of a better future. I had a dream like Malcolm. No, Martin.
I'm sure everybody appreciated that. Yeah, I have no idea what that was.
So, you're giving everyone a free bus, right?
Making every bus free. So you won't have your own bus. But you can ride any bus.
So I don't really follow politics, but I've seen the thirst comments for this guy on Instagram, and we kind of look alike. So when life gives you cardamom, make chai.
Grand Rising Brother King Kwame. Will you pass legislation where we can call all our elders aunties and uncles?
We don't actually have to pass legislation.
The revolution must be fed.
Hey guys, when I get in there, I think I'm gonna ask a serious question.
Oh. They're not about to mess up my bag. 2 more of these press conferences and I'll be the political guy on Call Her Daddy.
With 1 week left to the election, how do we use our power?
What I would ask every ZohranForNYC.com, DOTV.
Zohran, young man, dream on.
In your time.
It's pretty good. Yeah, Christian be the only one who actually did ask a real question. Is this chat? Did you see this one? What is this?
What's up? How's it going?
Peter Rosenberg, proud Jewish New Yorker here supporting this man, Zohran Mamdani for mayor. If you don't like the man's policy, no problem. But I pray everyone can listen to this man and understand that not even a part of him is anti-Semitic and that the days of being anti-Israel government equals anti-Semitism are over. That is a lie being used to strategically divide. Do not fall for it. This is a good man.
Hello again. What's up?
How's it going, man?
I wanted to ask because I remember seeing you in an interview talking about going to bar mitzvahs growing up. I want to ask, what is the influence that Jewish life has had on you?
You know, growing up in this city, I moved here when I was 7 years old, and one of the joys was learning about Jewish identity, Jewish culture, religion, and through so many of my friends and through their families. And I remember being invited over for Hanukkah. I remember watching Crazy Nights. I remember going to bar and bat mitzvahs and coming home and asking my dad why we didn't do any of that in Islam. I still haven't gotten a good answer. And I think what was so beautiful about it was that I understood all of these examples as a part of what it meant to be a New Yorker, as a part of what it meant to love this city. Growing up on 118th and Riverside, you know.
Have you ever been to a mitzvah? Yeah, I've been to a bat mitzvah back in the day. Yeah, I've been to a mitzvah.
There were just so many times where I would be interacting with Jewish culture and not even know that I was. I just thought it was the city around me, and that's what it is. And that's so much of also what animates my desire to serve this city, is having loved and lived in this city.
And do you enjoy Michael Rappaport's influence on you?
Next question.
Yeah. We are at a New York institution with a New York institution. Let's go. You know what I mean? My guy. Thank you. So listen.
Did Mara rob Zohran in high school?
Let's get into it right off rip, man, because we both, you know what I'm saying, New York City kids.
Wait, is this where we went? Is this the same restaurant that we went to with Mero? No, right? Is it?
Grew up on Upper West Side.
Yes, sir. Morningside Heights.
Yes, sir.
Oh, no, it's not. It's not.
Yeah. When I was doing my research, I was like, oh, snap. I was like, yo, my man Zohran went to Bronx Science.
Yes.
I went to DeWitt Clan. I was like, you already know where I'm going with this. I was like, listen, for y'all that don't know New York City history.
When your ex takes his new squeeze to the same place, listen, we're in a throuple, okay? Let's be real. We're all locked in. We're all locked in together. This dude is so cool. Greatest stream you had in a while. Yeah, I love, dude, he's the man. He is the man.
Bronx Science is on this side.
Yep.
DeWitt Clinton is on this side.
Yep.
DeWitt Clinton is the magnet school for robbing Bronx Science kids. You know what I'm saying? At Finger Point.
Yo, give me that
basketball JV team definitely got mugged. Definitely got mugged. I wasn't on it.
Yo, listen, but as a mayor, you know what I mean? Like, you have input into that type of stuff. Because I used to, even as a kid, I was like, why did they put Gen Pop next to the school that you got to test into? And then But Tracy Tower is right across the street from that. So, talk about a little bit about that Bronx Heights experience, man. Talk to these kids about Bronx high schools, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was an experience, like you said. Look, like many Bronx Science kid, I tried for Stuyvesant, didn't get in. Shout out.
I was about to say, I was like, yo, Upper West Side.
But we say at Bronx Science, at least we get personalities, so we ended up there. It was good, man. I mean, I used to take the 1 train to the VX10, 231st.
Hassan, New York ass Mero, whatever the f is going on with Bracelet Your Fire stream, it was amazing. Yeah. It was. Mero's the best was Fawn before I found you in 2019.
I'd take the 10, I'd be shouting back door to open it up.
Man, back door, man.
And then, but it opened my eyes.
Please do a threesome stream with Mero Mamdani when he wins. Yeah, I mean, after the election is a very different media environment than leading up to the election, let's just say. Especially since your boy's been in the crosshairs pretty heavily. Okay? So we'll see. He'll probably be busy being the mayor, but we'll see.
To New York City. Like, I lived in Morningside Heights.
Let's just get over the
My
fucking
world
finish
at that
line
time
first, though.
was not too far from where I was.
Right.
But then when I went to Bronx Science, most of my close friends by the time I graduated were living in Queens and in Brooklyn. Like the outer parts, right? We're talking about like if you're in Glen Oaks or if you're in Bath Beach.
Oh, you're
like
Middle Village.
You know? It's not simple.
I'm taking a train to a bus
Exactly.
to a shuttle.
Exactly. But I think this is what it has been for so many kids growing up in this city, is you get a glimpse of the world that you love and a sense that life could be so much better than this.
But 100%.
You know?
It's funny because, talking about that, that growing up, that upbringing, people would look at me and look at you and be like, yeah, these guys might have not got along back in the days. You know what I'm saying? But I am here to tell you that is an egregious mischaracterization of your boy and of Zohran. You know what I'm saying? We probably would have been chilling.
100%.
Having, you know what I'm saying, cheeseburger combos.
You know what it is?
You know what I mean? From Kennedy Fried Chicken, which is halal.
Shout out KFC.
Shout out to KFC, the real KFC. You know what I'm saying? But again, upbringing, a very important part of that is parents.
Mm-hmm.
We both are children of immigrants.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Which probably explains my next question.
Hit it.
Before you ran for state assemblyman in Queens,
yes,
you managed Ross Barker's state senate campaign in 2018.
Look at you, man.
You know what I'm saying? I got my...
You know what I mean? I got the footnotes.
Yeah, baby. You know what I'm saying? This is journalism with a capital J. Okay? So you were doing that. That takes a lot of, energy, bro.
Yeah.
Was that your parents being like, yo, listen, we ain't come here for nothing, bro. Like, you better get your ass down there, get to work.
Did you think Zohran would be where he is when you interviewed him? I think he's on the record saying, not really. No, I did not. I didn't think he'd have, I wanted him to be in this moment, obviously, but I did not think that he'd be able to cut away so aggressively from the rest of the crowded field in the primaries in the way that he did. I was very, very worried that there was still going to be a massive race for the general. And I don't think with this level of animosity directed at him, if he wasn't the Democrat that overcame the primary competition, I don't know if he would have been able to win.
You know what I mean? Was that entree into politics?
I'm telling him you doubted. Brother, I don't think he and his team thought that they'd be here either. What are you talking about? Anyone that tells you that they were 100% confident is probably lying. People knew what he represented. People knew that he would be fantastic. But, I mean, it seems impossible until it's done. It still feels crazy. It feels insane. Look at the chemistry, bros. He already forgot about you. Yeah, bro. Well, so delusional people don't exist to you? I mean, they do. I hate saying this, but he's an Obama-level communicator. He's destined for greatness. I hope he stands on business. I agree. He said he told his wife he had a 3% chance of winning. Yeah, I don't think he believed it either. If Zohran wins, Flagrant Boys will flex their clout again. Yeah, I don't think anyone is going to buy that. Let's be real. I think the real ones know who was there, okay? And that is Stalwart. Or what was it? Is it Stalwart? The Odd Lots. That's the OG. Okay? The OG was actually Odd Lots, straight up. It was Majority Report, Odd Lots. It was my broadcast as well, obviously, and and Chapo. Yeah. And Kareem too, for sure.
On purpose? Were you just trying to beef up your college resume? Like
It actually all began a few years earlier. So, you know Das Racist, you know he's...
yeah.
Right?
So, speaking of Bronx Science, I thought my Bronx Science graduates.
So, I used to be a big Das Racist fan. And I remember opening up the Village Voice in 2015. There was an article about Heems endorsing his childhood friend Ali.
Stabby Baby was the most OG. He was talking about voting for Zohran on Cumtown. Wait,
Yeah,
what?
We get a lot of Greek.
Oh, wait. You have Greek people running Astoria?
Well,
For,
I voted
state
against the Greek
assembly?
lady. I voted against.
Wow.
There's a lady
Benedict
named
Arnold.
Aravella Simotas.
Yeah.
And I was like, hit the bricks, bitch. I got my boy Zohan or whatever the fuck his name is.
You got that
Zohran,
guy?
yeah.
Is he chill?
Yeah, he's good.
Yo! Stabby Baby back in 2020. Goddamn. And even back then, vote for Zohran if you're in Astoria. No politician seeking the coveted podcaster endorsements offer me a bribe. So I've had to rely solely on the issues in his platform rocks. He's for housing for all, healthcare for all, defunding the NYPD. So much more good shit. Go vote. Yeah, no, I got to sit down to the real kingmaker, baby. That doesn't count. It's a different race. It's an assemblyman. Okay? That's different. We're talking to the mayoral run. Okay? We're talking to the mayoral run. But you know what? I'll take it. The Greek once again proves he is wiser than the nasty Turk. Okay?
He nudged me, who was running for city council.
The Greek
And so I
has
saw
the
this and I was like,
foresight. The Greek has the foresight over the Turk. We'll give this one to the Greeks. Whatever.
I gotta help out. So I took the F train to 169th Street, and I would get out and knock on doors for Ali. And he ran, and shout out to my man, he did lose, but that was my entry into local politics.
It's pretty funny though, because like that's how you know this dude has motion. That we're like, oh, dude, I watched him in the Gravel days. It's like, bitch, you didn't know who the he was. I watched his Gravel Institute video in 2020 as well. I didn't know who the he was. I wasn't as like invested in the New York Assembly member races in general. A lot of you are trying to like, oh, I was there. It's like, come on, dude, calm down. It makes sense for Stavros because he's like tapped in, but you know his mayoral run is an entirely different thing.
And so from there, I got more involved with a club called the Muslim Democratic Club of New York, and I ended up working on a city council race in Bay Ridge for a Palestinian Lutheran minister. In Bay Ridge, makes like a Republican's head explode. Right. So what do you mean he's a Palestinian Lutheran minister? I was like,
in Bay Ridge?
Here we are.
What are you talking?
Come on.
It's all right. Nah,
Come
bro.
on.
Listen, bro. What are we talking about
Catch
here?
up to the present, baby.
Come
This is
on,
where
what
we
are
are.
we doing?
So I worked on that campaign. It changed my life. That was a campaign I used to do like an hour and a half round trip on the train to get down from Morningside Heights to Bay Ridge. I would sleep. Yeah, I mean, that's how much I believed in it. Because here was a guy who understood that dignity was something that was non-negotiable. Everybody deserves it. We can't keep letting New Yorkers get priced out. And that it's consistent to believe that and want the same things for everybody everywhere.
Yeah.
And after I worked on that, then I became Ross Barkan's campaign manager. And actually, my parents, I would say, they've just been supportive throughout my life. Whenever I wanted to take a big...
Your New Yorker mini interview dropped. Oh God, it was kind of cringe. I'm not gonna lie.
This is Labubu sized, perfect for the performative male.
I gotta pee.
Swing that I can take it with confidence. Right. And the one thing though, when I ran for state assembly, my mom was like, "You don't have to have a master's to do that." I was like, "No."
Shit,
I was like, "No."
Why
I was
do
like, "No."
Why?
A bachelor's is sufficient.
Listen.
Actually, there's no requirement.
Why do y'all do that? Why do y'all do that? My mom was like, "Yo, listen, I got a big TV deal. You know what I'm saying? I got a little bit of a bag, Zohran." And then my mom immediately called me and was just like, "Look," she didn't call me. Let's be real. She did what immigrant mothers do. She left me a 5-minute WhatsApp voice note.
Hit it.
You know what I'm saying? I had to put it on 2x speed, and she was like, "Why did you get a degree? Wouldn't you get a pay bump if you got a degree?" I was like, "Mom, that is not how show business works. It is not a meritocracy. You know what I'm saying? The studio system is cooked." So was that what made you like, you know, rub the political coke in your gums, like and be like, "Yo, we going,
It's
we
exactly
doing this."
how I describe it, actually. It's so funny that you would say that. Whenever I'm at a forum, I'm like, "So this is what it happens."
I got the itch, man.
Anybody got any here? No, that's not what I say. That's not how we describe this.
That's just a Mero thing. You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
you thing. It's a you thing. This is water.
It's not. There's nothing there.
Please.
This is a completely halal site.
This has been sponsored by Andrew Cuomo. He's like hanging out here. Ask him the cocaine question.
Yeah. He'll be like, well, listen, a little toot here and there. All right, doesn't matter. It makes my nipples relax. Okay.
I'm just here. I'm not engaging. I'll
do all the engagement on that part.
I'm just getting
for low-qual mozzarella.
Media engagement.
A victory light.